Welcome back to the Great Southern Billiard Tour Carolina Open. We're here at Fast Eddie's in Goldsboro, North Carolina. I'm J.R. Calvert with Inside Pool Magazine. Joining me in the booth is Ron Park. Ron, welcome.
How are you, J.R.?
I'm doing fine. doing fine. We got a great match. 8-ball match between Larry Kressell and Scott Roberts. Larry is a AA player. He's going to go to 7. Scott's a B player, one of those killer Bs. He's only going to 5.
He just beat, I think it was Shannon?
Beat Shannon Dalton, Hill, I believe. So he can play.
Yeah, he plays good. Plays well.
I guess he's sponsored by the Clubhouse Bar and Billiards in Lynchburg, Virginia, and he's got that shirt on. Larry is actually sponsored by our friends up in Midlothian at Diamond Billiards, and he's their house pro. Brandon Schuff plays out of that room.
Brandon Schuff, yeah.
Straight shooter. A lot of great players. And ran by Thomas and Cindy Dorsey. Nice people. Really run a great establishment.
Yeah, I heard about that place.
I think you're going to hear a lot more about that place in the future.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I heard they're really nice.
And nice people. Really cutting edge, right on the edge of doing things that other people just haven't even thought of yet.
That's great.
Scott is off to the races here now. He's taking the balls that I think that are in control of this game, with the exception of the 3-ball, but the 8-ball can be managed. What I don't like is trying to do the 6-4. 4 does go by the 12 and 10, but there's just something about the 6 that doesn't let me feel comfortable taking the low ball. So he's off to the races. What do you see out there, Ron?
I think he took the right choice. Since the 6 and the 4 are above, he does have a lane for the 4, but the 6 is kind of tricky. But I think he'll be all right.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Well, now he's got a long shot, so.
And he looks like he's shooting at the 11 ball.
Right. And he made it.
He made it, and he's going to come up around here very nicely.
He shot that with confidence.
If he slides up into the 4 or goes through this and keeps an angle on the 6 or 12, he went too far this time. He was looking to come in behind that 8. He didn't want to bank it.
No, I don't think so. He shot it pretty fast. I don't know what he was thinking, but well, you know, that table, of course, is a little faster because of the lights.
Yeah, they're a little bit warmer.
Yeah. A little drier.
This is moving day for this tournament. This is when we started out the day with 100+ players. Right. If you combine the 2 players, and we're going to take and probably cut that down by 2/3 easily. So where we're at in the tournament is floating, guys. I wish I could tell you that. I know.
Yeah, that's right. This is the first time in my life I ever played 9-ball and 8-ball in separate entities, separate tournaments at the same time. So it's going to be tiring, I guess, but that's all right.
I think Larry is going down to get that 3 right now.
Sure, good idea.
And at this point here, if you miss, sometimes you just got to say, look, if I miss, it should cost me the game. And so why don't I just go take care of this?
Yeah. I think, you know, in 8-ball, you get down to your last ball. If you're stitched or can't make it, or you're pretty much done if it's an open rack.
He should float up for this 5, go past the side pocket a couple inches. He can go either way here. I think he's just going to hit it soft and him off one rail. That's fine. Made pretty easy work of that rack.
Oh, that's one down.
So tell us a little bit about your last week's escapades.
Last week?
Last week, you were down at the U.S. Amateur Championship in Palm Harbor, Florida.
Right.
How'd that all turn out?
We're talking about the U.S. Amateurs.
Yeah.
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 Well,
some of our viewers are just tuning in. How did that?
I qualified in Charlotte, and you know you pay $40. Everybody thinks you can pay an entry fee to the U.S. Amateurs, but you can't. They have prelims months in advance, and you have to pay $40 to get in that. And if you win the prelim, you have to pay another $60, and then they give you your room and wherever the finals are going to be held, championships. Of course, it was in Palm Harbor, and I know Jose. He's a nice guy.
Great guy.
Nice room. Good food.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how I did it. I made it all the way through the winner's side. And it's too bad it wasn't true double elimination, but it was one race to 11. And I started off with a bang because I had him 6-1. Good player. Ernesto Bayato, I think his name is.
Bayawa.
I gotta get that right. People ask me who it was. I think he's from Texas. Good player. He had a solid break. Man, he had a strong break.
He had the best break I've seen since Larry Neville's in a long time.
Yeah. But anyway, I had him 6-1, and I think what happened also, I have no excuse, but my blood sugar started messing with me. And I started getting real tired, and I couldn't focus, and I was missing shots. And he catches up, and he's 7-6, and I made a great out when I was at 8. Oh, no, 9. I was
New matchup in the Riverside 8-ball division.
And I came up dry on the break. He was already on the hill, and he ran out.
Table number 8, Younger Chapman, Larry Neville.
He may have overrolled on this ball. He seems to be in trouble here.
Yeah,
I don't think he can see that 9. I don't think he can do anything. If he's thinking about a 3-ball combo here, good luck.
You know, he tried it.
He got Whitey all the way down table here,
Right.
and there's nothing really easy for Larry to start with, so it's not the worst shot I've seen in a while.
Looks like he's got the 6 long shot, roll it up into the corner.
Great shot.
Yeah.
That was no easy shot.
No. You know, the funny thing about 8-ball is that, you know, if you get out of line, you want to play safe, but you can't a lot of times because of his balls. Your opponent's balls are in the way. That's the only thing about 8-ball.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes he just has too many.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, in the APA, the lower-ranked players, they think that the more balls they make, the better off they are. And, of course, we think the opposite.
Mm-hmm. We want all of them on the table or none.
Right.
The theory that I subscribe to is if you're ever going to leave the table in 8-ball, always take care of one of your problems and create one for your opponent.
Right.
It's the only way to be. It's the best way to get back to the table with an out.
That's right.
And generally, you can put a little caveat on that says, and don't let them see the problem that you created.
Right.
It's kind of like one pocket. When you put a ball near your hole, don't let your opponent see it. He's just going to knock it away.
Right.
He knows that move. And Larry's going ahead and made an easy run here, so to speak. Made it look easy is probably the better way to say it.
Yeah, he's one of those players that he don't look fancy. You know, there's nothing fancy about the way he plays. just gets up there and makes balls.
And he's evened this up in a way. Both players now have to win 5 games. He's made up that 2-game spot. We're going to take a short commercial break here, folks. Larry is setting them up. A little message from our friends over Kamui. Kamui is a great sponsor of this event. They've made a discounted subscription price for anybody that's interested in a subscription to Inside Pool. Perfect Christmas gift. A regular $19.99 subscription, you can get a free Kamui tip, which is a $20 value. A little voucher for that to be installed by one of their authorized dealers.
That's nice.
And at the same time, if you want the 2-year, you can get it for $27.99. Knock $10 off. So Kamui, wanting to make sure everybody gets Inside Pool magazine.
Exactly.
Special thanks to them.
It's the best magazine out there.
Thank you, sir.
Somebody just asked if BJ won, and he did.
I think BJ did win.
Yes. It was a hell match.
Well, it's tempting to get started with the low balls. The 7-ball might not have a great pocket, and neither does the 4 for all practical purpose. I mean, you can stop the 6 and have the 4 up in the corner. I'm not really sure that the 7 slides by the 13, though.
Right.
Maybe we'll take a look here in a second and see if it does.
Yeah, I guess he was looking at the 13-11 tied up or together there, and maybe.
You know, he makes balls really well for a B player.
Oh, he's a super B.
I mean, he's just a ball-making fiend right now. Now, maybe he can slide this 4 in. Maybe he can even pluck this 7 out if he goes off the rail with this 6.
Spin it off the rail there.
Oh, he got the spin,
That's
shot him up.
The spin. Yeah, well, I meant for him to spin it into the 7
rail.
After 2 balls.
Yeah, I believe he was supposed to go rail and then into the 7. He wasn't supposed to touch those stripes because that was an opponent problem that he didn't want to make. He didn't want to break it up for him.
That's a common mistake for a B player, though.
Well, that's what I mean. He makes balls great. He just has to learn the game and the outs.
Gee. Never hit a ball.
Never hit a ball. How did he do that through there?
I don't know. Go out on a limb and say he's out.
Pretty much. He's going to go down and get this ball that's underneath the 8. That's the 10 ball. And he most likely, believe it or not, will hit the 8 ball here just a hair.
Bump it up a little bit.
Yeah, sure. There you go. Now it's easy peasy. Smart play by Larry. Play the combination, fairly soft.
Yeah, if he gets in trouble here, he always has the 9.
There you go. Smart shot. I might even consider shooting the 9 first since this 14's on the same side as the 8. Less to do than what there is here. I mean, he's guaranteed to make the ball here.
I guess it's optional.
Look at him shaking his head. He should have shot it first.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. You look at it and you say, oh, I'm in no problem. That's hanging on the side. I'll be all right. But then after you shoot that ball, then you look at it and say, wait a minute.
And he may have to do something with this shot.
Well, a little too hard.
Took off on him.
Might be all right.
I have faith that he's going to make it, but it's a lot harder than what it could have been had he taken the 9 first.
Oh, so.
But he's left the killer B, something that he hasn't seen yet, is a wide open table. I think he's going to go ahead and, if it was me, I would go ahead and bank or stop the 4 and leave him right behind the 7.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Well, he's going to shoot at the shot, though. He's a B player. He doesn't know the move. And guess what? A killer B is going to put that right in the hole on you. Shoot the wrong shot and bury it.
That's scary.
Oh, he missed this.
He wobbled it in.
Never a doubt.
As Shannon Dalton would say, he jiggalooed it.
Jiggalooed it?
Yeah. That's the new word.
Larry's not too happy. And what an easy mistake to make. I mean, you and I have been there where we see that ball on the side. You think it's just like you said, well, what could possibly go wrong?
Right.
Next thing you know, you're in that situation.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because you probably called the right shot, and he didn't play it like that. Shoot the one on the side, that ball on the side first, and then hit the one in the corner. Easier position to get on the 8.
Sure.
Good break.
Nice break. Nobody home.
Came up dry. Shannon said he broke him 4 times and came up dry.
Really?
Yeah, and Scott ran out on it.
Larry likes these low balls. I think he's looking at the combination right out of the gate.
You know, it looks like he could have chosen either one.
I like the stripes.
Yeah.
That's just me. There's still some work to be done here, even though it looks like he now has the stripe trapped. You know, he's got his basic trap set up. There's nothing that says that can't be beat. There's 2 or 3 methods that you can beat this, you know, trapped corner ball down here.
Right. Well, he wants to get these balls out of the way, down on the bottom rail here.
Well, I would be saving the 3 as one of my key balls is what I would have done.
Okay.
And I would have, you know, it would have been the ball that I go to the bottom rail and then in behind the 8, and it's an easy shot. Here, I think he needs to consider shooting at this too. This could get ugly real quick. Well, I can see making a 4 and maybe even the 1 down in the lower right-hand corner pocket here. But the 2 to the 3 could get funky if he doesn't get perfect on that 2, because it's the 11 takes up so much space.
Yeah, that's why I thought he was going to shoot the 3, get position on that 3 and get those out of the way, and then shoot these balls up here. And he'd have a pretty good position on the 8. That may work out. Bumped right into it.
And he was circling all of his problems there, and he wasn't leaving himself 2 options. He always kept committing to 1, and sometimes that backfires and sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
What he has to do now is, I believe, I'd kick that 3 over into the 15 and leave them tied up.
What do you think about coming off the side rail near the 8 on that rail and just hitting it soft into the 3?
I might even just put the 8 in front of the 3.
I did that before, as a matter of fact. I put the 8 ball in front of another ball.
Yeah, make him really work for it.
Yeah.
Because he's a killer bee. He might not know the moves.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, we're calling them killer bees, guys. You're giving up that weight, and at any moment they can have a flash of brilliance and nothing goes wrong. And suddenly for 2 or 3 games they play as good as you do, and you're giving them 4 or 5 games.
Right. Now, what ball would you shoot here, Drew?
I would leave the 15.
You'd leave the 15 or shoot it?
I would leave the 15.
Okay.
That's my insurance. I am going to deal with the ball that's above it that's real close to the cue right now. See, now this is a wide open, who cares? The ball would never even be in the way. He could have done this work on the 9-10 other times, or right away. And he's done this perfectly. There you go. Shoot this one. This is the right shot because now he can zigzag or run 3 onto this 12 ball that's right beside the 8 after he goes from shooting this 11.
Right.
Zigzag or 3. I think he's going to zigzag because that's going to be his comfortable shot. But look at this. He's going to go forward with a good shot.
Oh, no, came back, but
he missed a stroke.
Oh boy.
He missed a stroke. Position. I don't know what that is. And this is what we're talking about, is where for 2 or 3 strokes, well, he's allowed to miss. Larry has to be thinking, thank goodness he's really the speed he is. And he's just a little bit more knowledge, and he's going to go up, and he's going to be an A the next time he plays.
Right.
He'll have to win as an A. I think he's doing pretty good as a B. He got Shannon's attention.
Sure did. I got lucky and beat him. Larry's got to be really thankful he missed that 8.
Well, that keeps his set in line. They still have to win the same amount of games.
We got all the tables going. Got Keith Bennett in front of us here.
We do.
Larry Neville next to him.
Sure do. I see Alex Olinger, Mike Cohen.
Oh, Michael Fuller. And Michael's playing Alex. My mistake. Alex is actually Michael Fuller's playing Shannon.
Well, Scott looks he's got pretty good chance here.
High balls.
Yeah, high balls. He has a pretty good chance here. I don't really see anything that's going to cause a problem for him not to get out.
The only thing I see is that it looks like the 11. Oh, that's not a strike ball there. I see the 11 up there. It's probably his only trouble ball. Perfect. Now, this could be tricky because
Well, he got in there for that 13, and he's got a draw angle out.
Right, he had to get straight on it.
He sure did.
Because he didn't want to run into the 1 and 5. Now just draw it straight back. He should be okay. Oh, he bumped into the 5.
Well, he can go down to the bottom rail and come all the way up towards the 3 because he can stop the 9 and shoot the 8 in the side.
Straight back up.
Straight up.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Wasn't even close.
Thank goodness for slow table. No. I think it's going to be 2 to 3.
All right. Little message from our sponsor.
I'm John Hendrick, pool player and owner of the Green Room in Pineville, North Carolina. My serious players demand quality, and that's why I've switched to Milliken Super Pro. This cloth plays at the perfect speed. It lasts a long time, and the spill guard protection saves my tables from stains. It saves me money, and my customers love it.
Milliken Super Pro, exclusively from Sterling Gaming.
Milliken's got me covered. How about you?
And that's going to be 3 to 2.
Wow.
That went straight back.
It sure did.
There was no doubt about that.
It looked like somebody shot it in the corner.
Well, Larry's looking at the 6-10 right out of the gate, and I don't blame him. That's the problem ball. Get rid of the 6 and...
Boy, he didn't even think about this.
Oh, there was nothing to think about. Right away, just go grab it and start running balls.
Sometimes you see it right away. For the viewers at home, this format is a little different, this 8-ball. If you make a high ball on a break, you still have choice of what you want to shoot, highs or lows. And 3 foul rule is in effect. And alternate breaks. And you have to hit the head ball. You can't choose to hit the second ball like I did at the U.S. Amateurs and they beat me.
Well, I believe that Larry has, he's doing things right here. He still has choices,
Right.
and that's nice. And I think he's taking the right choice here.
Right. I do too.
Don't go beyond this.
No.
Okay, now you can...
Well, you can go...
2 rails around.
Yeah.
It's just that if you get that funky angle where you're just a hair beyond it,
Right.
then everything's
and
funny.
I think he got that little bit of funky angle.
He does. Straight up.
He's going to be fine.
Don't run too far.
He's a good player. He's sneaky. You know, he's one of those sneaky players. He sneaks up on you.
Well, Larry has doubled up Scott Roberts' score, leading 4 to 2. Yeah, Diamond Billiards in Midlothian, folks. If you ever get a chance, head on up there. Great little pool room, great folks that run it. We'll be heading up there in a couple of days. We'll be up there Monday evening, as a matter of fact.
It looks like a race to 3 from here.
They should have just played a race to 3.
Yeah. Now, what are you doing up in that pool room, Joe?
They are going to be one of the pool rooms in our network.
Oh, good.
And we're putting a video system into their room.
Oh, nice.
And we'll be doing live broadcasts from their room just about every day.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Like I said, very forward thinkers. And they understand the value of video and how it can help the game and the sport.
And their business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lessons, league play,
Right.
tournaments,
You know, there's a pool room in Charlotte that has a jackpot on the break and run up to $10,000 right now. And I thought, you know, it'd be a great idea just to have a stream in there, just to watch that one rack.
Sure.
Every Wednesday.
I think that would be the one that everybody would want to watch.
Yeah.
And Larry's come up dry, and he's waving his arms. He can't believe it. He's got to let Scott shoot this rack first. And the only ball I see that's a problem out of both sets is the one ball. And it still can be banked in. And
Right. Well, they have... the crowd is cheering for the TV over there. They're showing UFC fighting.
they get that excited with when somebody makes a 9-ball, too.
Yeah, they
Come on.
do. Well, it's funny you should mention that. I was watching on Ustream on my iPhone Australian 8-ball championships, and you talk about people that cheer for the crowd from the crowd. It's unbelievable. You'd think they were watching football.
Yeah.
They're yelling for their player and come on, come on.
Did he get
You
it?
should see
Oh, look at that shot.
Nice.
You might be 2 straight. That's how funky it is. But yeah, they get excited.
Yeah,
They take it serious.
I had no idea.
Well, have you ever been to the Moscone Cup?
I've seen it. I haven't been there yet, but I've seen it on the...
It's in a month.
Right.
If you have the means,
You're right.
please do, because we get an arena the size of this room here filled with Europeans that come over and they cheer.
Yeah.
They cheer.
Yeah.
They dress up. It's like a sporting event. You know, you see the John 3:16 and everything else. To them, it's nothing for them to show up in crazy outfits and face painted and, you know, all the bells and whistles. And I mean, they outright cheer. I love it. It's one of the best events I could ever imagine have to launch our sport.
Yeah, Sean Putnam was saying that he's in it. He's in it.
That's a 6-4 right.
And
He
was
hit the
saying-
shot perfect.
Sean was saying that the pressure at the Moscone Cup is greater than the pressure at the U.S. Open.
It sure is. Because you know you have 175 continents watching it.
Right.
Everybody except the U.S.
Yeah.
And everybody's rooting against the U.S. because they all want to see the Europeans win.
A lot of pressure.
Well, now he's going and getting fancy on us.
He's pulling a Bustamante. Huh?
He says this is an easy shot and I don't need to look at it. Watch.
Wow. Nice out.
Yeah. Great little set going on here. I really like Scott Roberts' game. I like the fact that he is just a loosey-goosey ball maker right now.
Right, he doesn't think too much. He's not a finesse type player or deliberate. He just shoots the balls in holes. He doesn't think too much. Maybe that's good.
Well, that's the worst thing that can happen, and that's how Larry's going to get upset, is if he breaks the balls, Scott keeps getting shots with a wide-open table where there's no problems that could trap him up. He's going to make the balls.
Right.
He just can't move or get into that type of thinking just yet.
Right. Wow. It's almost hard to believe. You got 15 balls, you break them wide open. You got 6 pockets, and nothing goes.
And this is what Larry doesn't want to see. Him to get up with all the tied-up shots.
Look at that.
He doesn't want it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable sometimes. He's got 1 ball to shoot, it looks like, and that's the 14. Well, wait a minute. I don't know if you could see the 2 ball. Spoke too soon.
We want to take a moment to thank all of our Ustream viewers. You're what makes this show possible. Showing up and hanging out with us and tuning in. What a great shot.
Yeah.
I also want to take a moment to thank all of our moderators, Corner Market Bob, Pro Pool Player, and of course, Upstate Al. Thanks, guys. Good job.
Oh, that's, somebody said the UFC fight is free.
Yeah, it's they have it on the right at the bar there. In the lounge, we have the pool going, and in the bar, we've got UFC.
Yeah. Well, usually it's on pay-per-view. I see Joe Rogan there. He's speaking to one of the fighters.
Yep.
Joe Rogan is a big pool nut. He loves pool.
Big time pool nut.
And I'm sure everybody's seen his imitation of Earl Strickland, which is on YouTube. Well, Larry's behind this ball.
Yeah, he can see the 9.
Ah, he can. Huh?
Yeah, he's got a shot at it. He's just he wants to come out and get on the 14. He's taking a shot at getting on the 15, as you see. He's trying the two-way there, which is smart.
Josh Newman and champ, or Big James, or Big Player, or whatever you would call him. That'll be a 7-6 race on paper 9, 8 ball.
And that's about perfect.
Yeah.
That's about perfect. All he has to do at this point here is make the 14 withdraw and not find the 1 ball or the 2 ball.
Right, that's what I was looking at. The 1 ball is kind of in a precarious situation. He may have to go under it.
He can hit it with a little inside and straighten it up like that.
Oh, yeah. See what? Oh, man.
He
got lucky there.
He got lucky. He could have been behind his 3-7 or never seen it after he touched the 1.
Yeah, I couldn't see him drawing that ball without hitting the 1. Wow, good shot.
Great shot.
I predict Hill. That's what I predict.
Let us hit him with a commercial sponsor here.
40 years of Q craftsmanship. A state-of-the-art production facility. Revolutionary design. When you step to the table, unleash the fury. Precision craftsmanship. A player's cue ready for action. A cue with a sweet hit. A consistent hit. See the entire line of Fury cues and unleash your fury.
And we're back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the 8-ball division of the Carolina Open on the Great Southern Billiard Tour. We're here in Goldsboro, North Carolina at Fast Eddie's Sports Bar and Grill. And I'm J.R. Kelvert, and joining me in the booth is Ron Park. Ron, who I might add was the runner-up at the 2011 U.S. Amateur Championship last week in Palm Harbor, Florida.
Yes, I was.
Well, Ron, looks like Scott's got himself a full table of balls to shoot at, and I bet that he's going to shoot low balls. What do you think?
I think so, too. He's actually, he's only got a shot at a low ball. So he may not have any choice. Unless he, is it choice now? It's still choice?
It's still choice,
okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what he may be looking at the 7 ball.
I think he's going to shoot the 7.
Yeah.
And he's looking at that 3 ball with wide eyes. So I think he's going to try and hit it.
Oh.
And I got in on the 6. Let's take a little top view here. He can probably make that 3 without messing with the 10, really.
I think so.
He's going to go over and look at it one more time. Yeah, see what kind of angle he'd get if he stops this ball. I think his hardest shot is going to be the 2 ball.
Yeah, I think I don't know if he's going to bump the 1 here or no, he didn't. Okay.
And he's going right down for the 2. Right. Good for him. After this, he might consider, 3-5 would be, but if he can keep that 3 in front of the 10, he creates a big problem for Larry. I'd like to see him take the 5 right now and run 2 rails out on top between the 4 and the 1 and the 3.
He may have to.
If he puts it at, go ahead.
That might be the right shot.
Does he have that 5? I think he sees that 5. Let's see if he does. If he does, he's going to shoot right at it and then shoot the 4 next in the side.
He was very fortunate to have that little lane.
Well, that's what makes these guys those killers,
Yeah.
They have no idea. They just, shoot. They don't miss a ball at this stage.
He came up a little too far.
Yeah, he did. He's going to have to shoot the 4 in the same corner that he's going to shoot the 1, I bet.
He tried to play position for the side, but it didn't work out. Now, he still may shoot it inside.
I'm convinced that I could see him shooting this in the corner. Looks like it goes. And then the 1 in the corner, because he's going to drift over.
Yeah. Let's see what he does.
Oh, he's shooting to the side, drawing it. Look at this.
Oh, boy.
Look at this. He's going to get the 1. I don't think he can make it inside, can he? But if he just cuts it in the corner, it's natural position.
Yeah. I think if he cuts it in the side, he's going to run into the 13 or the 12.
Yeah. Trust me, if he puts this in the corner with just straight high Q, he's going to have, there's no way he's not going to make have a shot on the 8.
Yeah, this isn't one of my favorite shots, shooting it in the corner.
I'd rather have it than my opponent have it. That's all I know.
That's true.
And he missed it.
Yeah, he did. Too bad.
And poor Larry has to sit there and not know.
What's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
Well, he's pretty fortunate to come to the table, actually, because it looked like Scott was going to get out.
Yeah, it did. I know we have some people out in the chat that think that 8-ball is such an easy game. And I agree. There's times when the outs are extremely easy. And that's what we're talking about right now is Scott is getting some easy outs, and it's not showing up. And if you don't know how to run 100 balls in straight pull, you might not play 8-ball right. That's all I'm going to say. There's pattern play, there's strategies, and honestly, I think it's a beautiful game.
It is a good game. It's not my favorite game, but it takes a lot more thinking than a rotation game, because you have to know which ball to shoot. Shot selection is important.
That's half the battle, is picking the, and knowing why you would choose that group.
Right.
Being familiar with certain patterns of the balls laying right, knowing what the moves are and who has the best of that particular setup.
Determining whether you want to run out or play safe. There's so many variables, but the league players, APA players, most of them really don't know, and they just shoot the balls in and hope for the best. They don't understand the game. But in a tournament like this, these guys, most of these guys will, they figure out the patterns and strategize each shot.
Yeah, I just got to say that, I've watched some of the best players in England play 8-ball. Yeah. They play it beautifully.
Oh, yeah.
They know exactly how to play it. And I've watched some of the best American players. They know how to play it. Asian players, they know how to play it. But what's so funny is every now and then you'll see one of the top players not know how to play 8-ball. Like he missed that chapter of his life.
Right, exactly.
And
I played one yesterday.
top player, and he just never knew what 8-ball was about.
Shoot very straight, but really didn't know the game.
And, you know, that happens. Oh.
He went aerial with the cue ball.
And that's what Larry's been waiting for, is a nice little first shot opportunity where he knows no matter what happens now, he's probably going to outshoot and outmove Scott this entire set. But if Scott keeps getting outs where nothing's challenging to him and he just shoots all the balls in, that's what we're talking about.
Well, Larry's choosing lows, and I think the only problem ball, if it is the 7. Let's see how he gets on. I think he's fine. He's going to shoot the 5, 2, 1, and 7. My prediction.
Probably not a bad setup there.
Yeah. Just get straight on that ball, and all he has to do is stop it and just roll up for the 7. And he's done.
He's done. This set is most likely over now.
You just got to get, you just can't roll too far on this. Perfect.
And after this, we'll try and go around and give everybody some updates.
Number 10 on the 8-ball, alongside action.
Have to understand where we're at. We do not get to see the scores as well as what we'd love to.
And BJ Ostry on 10. That's the 7.
It's not in our job description, folks. And there it is.
There it is. It's over.
Larry Kressell. Thanks, Ronnie. I wanted to take a minute to thank all of the viewers for showing up. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of our Ustream moderators, Corner Market Bob, Pro Pool Player, and Upstate Al. And last but not least, all of our sponsors, Milliken Super Pro Cloth, Fury Cues, QSite.com for all your billiard needs, and last but not least, Kamui Tips for helping us out by giving away a free tip to the Inside Pool subscribers. The first 50 that do the single or the 2-year special price subscriptions will receive a Kamui voucher worth $20. So thanks to all these folks. Folks, stay tuned. We're going to have another match coming back right at you.
See you guys.